What is going on? We are back playing a little bit of the Clue for Steam. Got a 3-player game ready to go. Let's see how we do. Wow, a lot of rooms. A lot of rooms. Let's see how this all shakes out. Could get a little messy. Gonna give us an advantage if we discover who and what early. If we don't, to be determined. Could lose some of our advantage there, but I like having a lot of rooms as a preference in the more traditional board game style of play. See, we're waiting for Hoodwink to make a guess. And Hoodwink guessed 2 of our items. So we've got Scarlet or Lounge we can show him. I'm going to show him Scarlet. Just because I want to keep that for as long as possible. The rooms for as long as possible. Make people go back and forth to the same places. Okay, let's see. Now it's our turn. At 9. So we could make the ballroom. Sure. No harm in us guessing there. And we're going to guess all things that we don't have in this instance, because it's still early in the game. We want to get as much different information as possible. So we'll go plum, revolver. So we have it down then to 3 characters. We had the green and scarlet card, and then we just got shown plum. Let's see what's next. Plum's turn. Plum has the ballroom as an option. I pulled him in there so he could just choose to stay. And he does. Let's see what we got. Hope everyone is staying safe out there in today's interesting weather if you're a part of it. I know I'm pretty much buried here, but so be it. I don't have any place to go today, so I can make it work. Okay, so 1 of 3 cards. But no further eliminations we can make so far, because all of those possibilities are possibilities for us also. No way for us to narrow it down further or anything like that at this point. Let's see. Let's see. Waiting for Hoodwinked here to make a guess. So green or hall, we're going to continue with the same approach that we took the first time. We're going to show characters or weapons before we're going to show rooms. Because rooms take a little more walking around to eliminate. People can be eliminated anywhere. So we want to hold those for as long as we can. So we're not going to stay in the hall. I'm going to go to the dining room or the study. The kitchen is also open for us, so we're going to go to study. Because we can eliminate all the corners here if the things go as we'd like to. So we'll go ahead and say, let's say white, say. No clues about either item, so it keeps it nice and open for us as possibilities. Mustard shows us the study card. So everybody has 6 cards, so there's still a lot of availability here for people to have cards. We can't start making any eliminations based on the cards they've shown us yet. We've only gotten 2 so far, 1 from each player. Now we're guessing in the conservatory. Waiting for Professor Plum. Conservatory is an open room for us. We wouldn't mind getting guests here because then we could go back and forth from the lounge till it's eliminated. Okay. It's 2s this time. Keep the 2 guesses separate so we can make deductions later on if available. Wait for hoodwinked. 9. Waiting for hoodwinked to take their turn. And they're going to make their way to the dining room. And what are they going to say in the dining room? Okay, so Professor Plum shows a card. It could just be Professor Plum, so we're not going to make any additional notes there because we could make a bad inference if we do. Okay, rolled a 3. So we're just going to go to the kitchen. Use the secret passage. It's still an open room for us. Running out of things that we don't have eliminations on, though. So we're going to go mustard, because that's the only person that we know nothing about yet. I'm going to say... I already guessed revolver, so let's say lead pipe. Plum has a kitchen. So now our goal is we're going to try to find out who the killer is before we eliminate the conservatory or the ballroom, and the ballroom. Because if we can make that determination, that's going to make our lives much easier, because the dining room is going to be a difficult room for us to get to from where we are. One advantage that we have here, though, is we do have the lounge card. So that makes going back and forth between the lounge and the conservatory is a safe option for. Okay, we would love for Plum to guess like, oh, don't have an elimination here. Problem is we have no weapon to put pressure on the suggestion. And now we've got a wide open suggestion. There's no card. So either Professor Plum must have one of those or just lost. And looks like we've just lost. Let's see here. Interesting. That was a little surprising to me in terms of weapons. I'll be interested to see what the clue cards look like at the end of the game here, because we clearly didn't. I mean, we were not close. Interesting. We were badly behind because of our cards here. That's very interesting. How about that? Wow. What a gift. Two people and 3 weapons. It's helpful. Some bad luck there for us, but. Find ourselves in another one. Let's go here to Whispering Pine. We've got one of the people, we're one of the people that have 4 cards, which is good. Always helpful to have some extra. Three rooms again. I mean, while it didn't work for us last time, I typically prefer to have more rooms. Said it just didn't work out our way last time. So we're in the art room to start with. This is one of our cards. We would like Orchid to have a card here. Yeah. She does not, and so we have to show a card right off the bat, which is not ideal. Now it's Mrs. Orchid's turn. right with the statuette. Okay. Okay, now it's our turn. Let's get into a room, please. The best roll, but it's enough. So we can either go into the surveillance room or the therapy room. Let's go to surveillance just for the purpose of a secret passage. Again, we're going to guess completely open options here for us so far. We're going to guess ourselves, and we're going to say with the fire poker. Okay, the fire poker is eliminated. Our turn. Game hopefully will take a little longer than the last one. Bad luck in how that all shook out, but let's see here. Got peacock, poker, a swimming pool. Can't mark anything here because of the fire poker already a possibility. It could create more confusion just as far as how I prefer to take notes for us to do that elimination there, so I'm just going to let it play out. Mrs. White stays in the meditation room. White being the only person who we have a card from thus far. Peacock resistance bands, meditation room, and instantly gets a card from Mrs. Peacock. Peacock says herself with the chisel in the kitchen. We have the kitchen. Oh, so that helps us narrow it down a little bit. Only two possibilities of what Orchid could have had for that guess. Helps us keep it a little bit tighter. Always a benefit there by being able to keep things limited. So if we eliminate now either Peacock or chisel via another method, then we know that Orchid has the opposite. So that's helpful. Okay, Orchid moves into the art room. Okay, we can either show nail gun or art room. I'm going to show art room solely because we've already shown art room to somebody because we were forced into in an earlier situation. And I would rather keep showing same cards if possible. Okay, so we can go ahead and here. Only roll a 3, but we can use the secret passage to the patio, which is what we're going to do. Patio. So we're hyacinth. And we are going to go with sauna later. because those are things that we have no markings on yet. Hyacinth is eliminated. She has herself. That's always suspicious to me. That's the one thing about, I don't know. Of course Miss Hyacinth thinks it has proof it wasn't Miss Hyacinth. Seems suspicious to me. Hyacinth doesn't know. Hyacinth is going to stay on the patio, though, and guess. Say Peacock with the chisel. We need to pay attention here to Peacock, because it's being guessed a lot. And so while I have a lot of possibilities of who may have it, still don't have it eliminated. Which might suggest that somebody's onto something. Mrs. White doesn't get anywhere with her turn, so it moves to Peacock. Peacock's on the patio with us now because of Hyacinth's guess. She uses the secret passage and goes back to the surveillance room, which we may do as well. White sauna ladle surveillance room. Another one where we have some elimination in place already because of us knowing that Hyacinth does not have surveillance room. Mark those two. Now we have one possibility of a person having one card that could alleviate two situations. So we're going to avoid white for the moment, especially since it's Hyacinth that this possibility exists for, because that would leave us with a very limited amount of information from that guess. We would rather get more. Art room. So art room's one of our cards. We would like whatever. So green with the statuette. Now shown her art room twice. So we've shown art room to 3 people. So we must have shown her twice. Straight. 2. Art room or sauna. You have nothing about the sauna yet, so I'm going to go. I'm going to talk about Orchid. And so we asked about the sauna ladle. Orchid is the other one who asked about the sauna ladle, so that doesn't really tell us much. Let's use the resistance bands. Interesting. Okay, so Hyacinth shows us Orchid. Not been able to make any significant progress here yet. It's all kind of information gathering. A lot of people, the questions that are answered are being answered by a card from the very next person they go to. So that is less than helpful. Peacock. So Peacock here has Green or patio, because we have the nail gun. So that therefore is eliminated as a card that Peacock could have had. Waiting on Scorpion here for the die roll. 8 helps. It was easier to get around when you have big rolls like that. Makes the life a whole lot easier. So Scorpion now preparing a suggestion. Mrs. White on the patio. See, that's okay. So that's not particularly helpful. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I am gonna mark this just because it sets up a little weird. The other thing we can't eliminate is we know White does not have the patio. So that limits her one card to either Chisel or Peacock. Let's see now, Mrs. Peacock taking her turn. Orchid Chisel Surveillance Room. So Chisel's taken away here. Chisel being taken away there allows us to eliminate Peacock because we can determine it is definitively one of Orchid's cards. Interesting. That means Peacock is eliminated across here. It can't be 1, so that goes. Can't be 1, 3, so that goes away. 1. Okay, so Chisel is there. Continue here so we can keep the game moving. A lot of interesting deductions there. 1 or 3. 1, 2 or 3. Okay, the gym. Nobody's been in the gym yet. White nail gun. So now we need to show the nail gun card because we have no other choice. Now, kitchen. Swimming pool are still secrets for us. We can make meditation room, the surveillance room, the kitchen, or the swimming. Go to the mid. I want to go to the surveillance because we've got no clue in reference to that. I'm going to say Scarlet because nobody's guessed her. And we're going to say with the resistance bands because they are still open a little further along. Oh, there it is. We've won the game. So the answer is Scarlet with the resistance bands in the surveillance room. So we're going to make our accusation. Scarlet, resistance bands, surveillance. There it is. Successful accusation. Take her away. Yep. I think probably everybody was on to surveillance room, if I had my guesses. Yeah. But Scarlet and were just... I mean, it was partially good luck. It was partially just because if Hyacinth had Sonoladle and or Statuette, it was going to let us get very little information. I wanted to get more information, and then nothing had been said about Scarlet. So it's just a good kind of process of guessing to make sure we're maximizing our information that led us to a position where we ended up winning the game. Pretty cool. There it is.